Hi, and welcome to BYOB Poetry number 14. I am Softspoken and I'm coming to you live from Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and anywhere that you can find beautiful poetry. Now, tonight we are doing the same as what we did in the last show, in that we have an open mic and an open mic only. There is no headliner. In fact, all of you open micers, you are the headliners without the pay as well, but definitely no less welcome. And all I can say is I'm going to give you the mic now. So coming up to the stage is, well, it would be the metaphorist, but he's not here at the moment as well. So I'm going to pass it on to someone who started us off last time, and he was a previous special guest at our first ever BRB Poetry when we started off at Box Park, Wembley. And by the way, stay tuned for the information. We are going to be coming back soon. He is a flow poet. He is a man who transcends poetry. He is the one, the only, the ethereal, the beautiful, the amazing. Give it up, please, to Asim the poet.
Talk about the gassage levels. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. Just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity, for the space. Much love to everyone who's come to attend, always supporting Soft Spoken, always supporting BYOB, always supporting poetry. So thank you so much to everyone. I just want to firstly jump into the poem that I want to do today. It's actually called Makeup. So it's an old poem that I'll say old, but last year I created this poem. It's a somewhat dedication to a dear friend of mine, which has now been elaborated in something a lot more deeper. So in relation to International Women's Day, we're going to start with something a little bit beautiful. Okay. She wasn't beautiful, no, because she is beauty. I don't say this for the cosmetic side because that's the truth. It was in her natural state. Bronze her eyes like the warm dawn sun kissing my horizon with an unconcealed gaze. I shadowed her ways. Hashtag no filter within her base. Her lipstick, the realness. It's not from the face value of what I've seen. It was from her ethereal smile, highlighting to me it wasn't just a mascara or those wings that were on fleek. You see, behind all the makeup, she was made up of hardships that were blended amongst her cracks, yet she shines. Shimmering with glitter in her soul, naked and nude shades were exposed as hesitance trickled down her cheek, falling upon her beating chest. And yet with passion she brushes this aside as she says, only when I lashed against my previous setting, spraying the lies with my truth. And then she said those words that I inhale like the sweetest perfume. Like the phoenix, I too one day will rise. And then she began a way to wipe away the emotion of her tears and scar, dressed herself in glam in what I call true character. My eyes lined up because she nailed it. She was strong, polished like gloss, and I still blush saying this, but I never fell for her at first sight because she only taught me how to rise to love with a foundation of mercy and a primer of peace. But most of all, it wasn't the makeup, it was behind what was made up of her smile. She had dressed her sense for that promised ease. There's so much I want to say as she continues to contour my heart. She plucked out the spark from her and placed it within a dark part within, and I knew at that moment she would never throw shade. That's why I am lit within this poem as I pray to powder blemishes and stains, to exfoliate the removal of impurities through the routines of night and day. But most of all, behind all the makeup of her smile, I just want her to know that she isn't beautiful, but she's the embodiment of beauty in each and every way. And here's the extension. I am now called a makeup artist, but I'm only made up for what art is, and she is my inner gallery. With divine colors and angelic textures, I am unable to measure the effect of her love. But pouring natural minerals soft to the touch, I can't even say, man, I cured my worries and fears because she did. It's because of her. I shaved away my past, engraved upon my melanin with this serum, the elixir of positivity, dyeing my thoughts with hope and tinting light upon my windows of the soul. I'm peeling off my mask. If only I had the courage to say hello. Thank you so much.
Do we please unmute and please give a massive round of applause for Asim the poet?
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for that.
Oh my
How dare you be so cute?
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, Asim, I wish you nothing but the best as well. But you know what? We haven't got the lantern carrier tonight as well, but you seem to have carried that mantle, and you absolutely smashed it. Absolutely
We try,
smashed it.
bro. We try, man. We try. You know what I'm saying? We try. And again, it's something I don't want to take no credit. It's all down to individual women that are in my life who have inspired me, even those who I may not have seen, may have heard, may have talked to. But there are individuals amongst, even here today in this room, that have inspired many people. And they always say, behind a great man is a great woman. So there's a lot of things we can go into. But specifically with this poem, I just want to say that it's not about being beautiful, because you are the embodiment of beauty. So never forget that. Thank you so much for that once again.
You're gonna make me blush, man.
Go for it.
Lovely, brother. Give it up one more time, please, for Asim the poet.
Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, moving swiftly on to someone who's a newcomer to our stage, but she is an actress, an educator, and all-around lovely person from the interaction I've had with her so far today. So could you please give it up for the first time on our stage, Chloe Hazel?
Hello. Thanks for the nice introduction. My poem is called We the Non-Essential Artists, which isn't really directed at you guys because you're all artists. But yeah, if you can imagine, I'm saying it to some of the less open-minded people at the moment in our lockdown. It's interesting how insignificant we are as a race. What's more so is the amount of people who do not notice. Even with these recent new rules put in place, people seem to somehow miss it. As the rolling fire drags itself in circles to keep us alive, whilst the earth continues its courageous, forceful, thrusting drive to roll and swirl like a green and blue pearl, bowling its way amongst the pins of the atmosphere, selflessly keeping us safe, thanklessly, fiercely brave, giving us all yet another day, indicating that we can survive even in a black, deep vortex that lets us float inside a glistening safety net of diamonds, the befriending supernova, a luminous explosion combing its colourful corrosion through the universe, nursing the ultimate shockwave to the surface. Perfect. It kisses the skies of our comfortable awe. For several years we could absorb it, engage in love with our galaxy, as it changes in its harmonious staged rage and forms a delectable feast of Mother Nature's beauteous enchantment. The newsreaders will say it's an astronomical advancement in the most boring tone. They don't see it the way that some do, as we whiz around in a ticking time zone, each planet a cog in the clock of life, jolting through the Milky Way, blaring energetically loud quietness, slinking silkily together as the planets play. Have I got the people's attention? Now do they understand our things in common? We are worth a quick mention. We all breathe in oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. We all have a heart inside. It beats, maybe different rhythms, maybe in different spirits. Just for once, look up and show gratitude to orbit. Trust the giant handout the celestial city gives to you. There's stardust in every one of us. We were born in the unknown blue. Trust the moment that you're in. Believe in us, the human race, that we are all insignificant objects floating aimlessly in outer space. We don't know where it started. We won't know how it ends. We have no clue if it just spins endlessly around, around, around again. Should you worry? Well, would it help? All we can do is keep good health and be kind to one another, because we are all sisters and brothers, just dancing through a galaxy of uncertainty. On a side note, if you enjoyed this poetic description, my strange artistic depiction of what you chose to read or listen, please don't ever select artists to be part of the non-essential list. Thanks.
Everyone unmute yourselves and please give it up for Chloe Hazel.
Come
on.
Yeah. To say that you're not just a welcome addition as well, but you're now part of the family would be an understatement as well. So Chloe, I mean, the inspiration behind the poem is, I think, very clear as well. But could you please let us know part of why you wrote that poem?
So I saw a thing on social media that was just selecting artists as a non-essential. We got slung onto a non-essential list, and at the moment, there's a hell of a lot of people suffering in lockdown who are out of work, who would like some more support, even if it's just from their friends who aren't in the industry, just a little bit more understanding. You know, something like that is incredibly hurtful to see. So I wrote that purely out of a little bit of frustration, to be honest. But also, I guess I kind of got a bit lost in the whole galaxy world thing, you know, as well. And yeah, it's kind of like that viewpoint of going, you know, let's be thankful for all the beautiful nature and the natural things in the world, but also let's be thankful for everybody. Everybody makes the world turn. We're all the same. And that's my message in my poem, is that everybody is the same. And, you know, as long as we work together, we'll stay strong.
Absolutely. Do you want to talk about your book, or is that for another time? Yeah, go ahead.
I can very briefly. Thank you. Yeah, it's called Project Truth. I don't really have a date for it yet. But yeah, I'll post all the information on my social media, so you can find me at Chloe Hazel on Instagram, Facebook, and yeah, and it's called Project Truth, and yeah, it's all of my 8 years of poems put together.
And we can't wait for it as well. So let us know as soon as it comes out, because I will be the first person over here to put more money down to get a copy as well. So please give it up one more time. Unmute yourselves and let Chloe Hazel know how much of a legend she is.
Well done, Chloe.
Thank you, Chloe. And now moving swiftly on to someone who I've seen on Chocolate Poetry and has been on the online spoken word scene a lot more recently. Someone who I'm sure is going to be blowing everyone's minds with her poetry today. Please give it up for the one, the only, N.M.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So I wrote a new piece today because it's International Women's Day. So it doesn't have a name yet, but I hope you will enjoy it. What if I was not what they call a strong woman? What if I am just a woman who has no choice but to be strong? I think it's wrong because woman, the word on its own, is strong enough. Yes, we're already strong. I've been accepting it all for so long because being quiet is pretty tempting. It's safe here, it's neat, and I'm not hurting myself or the pride of those above me, who say they're above me, who remind me every day that they are above me. Really, I sit here so dainty, it could be so easy. Just smile nice and look bright, be demure, a man's delight. I could sit here, waste the day, let my dreams and ideas fade away. I could tell myself it's all a laugh, a simulation, the elders they're different from another generation. I could soak my anger and let it drown, stop it causing ripples so society doesn't frown at my misbehavings. Isn't that what we've done? We've analysed our every move like pieces on a chessboard. A misstep kills the groove, and it's always going to be my fault. That's where the penny drops, because whether you behave or whether you rebel, you'll always be damned and put through hell on earth. What on earth are you going to do when your descendants come through? Audre Lorde once said, your silence will not protect you. I'd rather be remembered for causing a riot than not remembered sticking to this diet. The system can die, it will not change. We were born with a choice, challenge or stay the same. So the women before me who gave me opportunity, my education, my job, my wealth, my reproductive health. I'll stand on top of what you have paved. Here's what I'll be shouting. I choose to challenge, and I will continue building the mountain. Thank you.
I will continue to build the mountain. Beautiful. Give it up, please, for N.M.
Yeah.
That's so good.
So I'm going to do a slight Akorism here, where basically I take a line from the poem and just relate back to you as well, just to remind you of how beautiful that poem was as well. So, what earth will you have when your descendants come through? Beautiful. So again, it's one of those poems where I think the inspiration is very clear, but could you please let us know part of the reason why you wrote that poem?
Yeah, so the theme for this year for International Women's Day is choose to challenge. So I wanted to think about like all the women before me, in whether it's in my family or just, you know, all women in the world who have really challenged the status quo and have made the lives of women today a lot better than it would be.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I absolutely loved it. I want to hear more of you, please, and then come back one more time. Give it up one more time, please, for NM.
Much.
Thank you. Now, moving on to someone who I've seen perform a few times, but unfortunately not enough, because this poet is a whole forest of metaphors.
I see what
Yeah, see what I did there as well? He is one of my favorite people on the scene, and it's very obvious why. He is just a lovely person. I mean, forget the poetry for a second, which, by the way, you will never forget once you hear it. He is just one of the nicest people that I've met on the poetry scene, and I cannot wait to share the stage with the one, the only, the beautiful, the amazing Metaphorist.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me. I haven't been on BYOB online in a while. I've got two pieces. One piece is only 4 lines, and then I'll get on to the main piece. Because it's International Women's Day. Shout out to all the women in the Zoom. I'm a bit nervous. Why am I nervous? Okay, so this is a 4-line poem. It's called Her, and here it goes. Her face that made my eyes to look, her voice that told my ears to listen, her eyes that taught me to see myself, herself that gave me herself to know of love. That's her. Okay, and on to the main piece. So this one's a love letter written by the male point of view to his love called My Navy. His love's called Navy, and the poem's called My Navy. My Navy, why do you continue to be blue? Do you not know you make the gods saddened by your sighs? Why wallow? I have never met someone so blessed or as charming. The grass meets your feet happily, and the birds sing. Only for you, it seems. You captivate me with your presence, when you haven't done as much as throw a glance or utter breath. My heart has 4 chambers, and you have made a room in one of them. The other 3 are empty, soon to be filled by laughter, love, and longing. My life is a gallery, exhibitions of you, filled up of moments and stills my mind has captured, preserving amber hue memories. I adore the musings, your voice lending captions that curate the length and breadth of its halls. Every moment we crafted together, from floor to ceiling, from wall to wall, is framed. You speak of things with so much passion, I dare not interrupt you. I am not so talented, nor as articulate. However, I have a penchant for taking time in my thoughts over you, and I've found that I must be accompanied by at least by more than one muse. So, I pen you only a sample of my affection. It's more than my hands can make, more than my back can bear. I must tell you before I burst, I am filled to the brim, and I pour it here before you to lighten my own heart. My soul pangs and my heart is heavy, my mind distracted. From when I first met you, those first steps toward your beaming grace to the space between us before I dare kiss you. Those were only passing distances succumbed by 2 beings fated for a greater design. To be apart from you for a year may seem like a daunting task for someone like me who is recently fawning. But I look out the window and I wonder at the nature and its constancy. The seasons assemble annually in an irregular manner, although to us in turn, they reintroduce themselves in a clandestine nature. Always there, waiting to be discovered. They are always present. This reassurance, my dear, is akin to how I cope. Like the seasons, this sublime and subtle presence is you. My spring sweet, my autumn amour, my summer soul, my winter wife. You never need to worry or fret. My thoughts are still my own, though I've borrowed them to you. Whenever radiant beams of golden light fall, I'll feel your warm, peach-tinted skin warming my own, or see red roses. I'll be haunted by your lips, poised by morning dew. Your name will forever be in the pocket of my tongue. I'll say your name before sleep, and again once more when I wake to refresh my joy. Eternally yours, love, the love of your life. Kiss. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, give it up.
Oh gosh, that was amazing.
Amazing. That was amazing.
Before you dare kiss her lips, who's daring you as well? She better dare to kiss your lips, mate. What are you talking about?
I know exactly. I'm like, what?
Oh, for real, you're gonna make me
Oh,
blush,
gosh,
man.
I love you, man. I love you, Meta.
She's out there somewhere. She's out there. We'll see.
Oh,
We're gonna go find her.
yes, yes. And if she's not in this room today as well, then I'm sure someone in this room will introduce you to her as well. And you know what? I'm going to make it my personal
crusade.
prerogative to make sure that you get what you deserve there, mate. Do you not know the gods? You make the gods sad when you're mellow.
Yeah.
Damn! I've fallen in love with you, mate. What are you talking about?
Well, I know you've got a lucky woman by you, and you're lucky to have her as well. So I will dare not disrupt that.
Oh, I'm very much the lucky one. But you know what? The stockiness ends here. You've made my heart melt. Could you please give it up for the one, the only Meta Forest?
Thank you, guys.
Love you, Meta.
Come on.
All right, our next performer comes via basically every favorite poet of mine. So I know Mickey not in person properly as well, but I have met him through watching him on his Instagram lives, especially the ones that he's done with Hazel. And he's been a ray of sunshine since he's been here. In fact, I'm going to turn off my ring lights over here because he's going to be emanating with his words and his presence. Could you please give it up for the one, the only, Mickey the Suave Angel?
I'm really nervous, surprisingly, but I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Hi everybody! I'm here on BYOB. Hands up who thought this, or they'd never see this turn coming. Oh, it's great to be here, and yeah, like what soft-spoken poet has said, yeah, me and Haz, my bestie, we do have a lot of chemistry, her and I. Anyways, so the piece that I've got, as today is International Women's Day, I thought I'd do a piece that I got via Haz, as well as another great poet on Instagram, Miss Mishap. This was on the prompt from Miss Mishap called Heart Filled with Vacancy. This was the piece that came out of it. It's called Heartbreak Restore Hotel. I've arrived here once again. The feeling is too mutual. The surroundings are all too familiar, and the environment is far from distant. There is no family to embrace lovingly, no friends to comfort me, and nobody to worry about me anymore. The colors of the ceiling are like the colors of my petrified, moldy heart. As for the floor and walls, they are the colors of my soul, lifeless and far from warmful. Why must I go through this again and again and again, only to achieve the same result? Why must all the steps I cross must be from people that I angered mistakenly and suffered over and over again? The questions are now permanent residents in my head, always ready to get settled at my expense and never go away. Even when my visit is over, they book and check in for the next one just like that. As I close my eyes once again, on the bed, ready to drift away into permanent darkness with hidden madness, I hear a whisper that gradually grows louder. Hurting everyone, healing no one. as it muffles my response and seals my eyes away shut, like the casket sealing me away from life itself. Cheers.
My mouse decided that it didn't want
Mickey.
to mute me. But wow, my man, I think I might have just found a new brother.
Wicked.
It's lovely. It's lovely to see your positivity. It's lovely to see your as I said, the light emanating from you as well. And we can't wait to hear from you again. Please give it up one more time for Mickey, the Suave Angel.
Oh, Mickey, representing West Midlands.
All right, now moving on to our next poet. So the last or the next few poets aren't actually from London, but this poet has just moved to London. Someone who we've heard from before on our stage, and someone who's going to absolutely smash it one more time. Could you please give it up for the one, the only, the amazing Beth Sullivan?
Thanks, guys. I'm so happy to be back. I'm also known as the.galaxy.within on Instagram, and it's so good to be back. And you guys have been so amazing so far. To celebrate International Women's Day, I'm going to do a feminist poem. Quite a lot of my feminist poems are angry feminist poems. I will not apologize for it. Just a little warning, in the second line, there is a swear word in it in case like people get offended by that. Just a quick warning. This is called To the Boy in the White Aldi. To the boy in the white Aldi, he followed me for a good minute before he left. Let me tell you something. Fuck you. What part of my silence screamed, oh, please harass me more? My silence is a full stop, not a comma nor an ellipsis. My silence is me disappearing in the day, much like I wish that you would. Only when you stopped is when I carved the image in your head of me in the arms of a man, so please tell me, why is my estrogen not strong enough of that a man's testosterone? Do you like the chase, or does the word no turn you on? Why do you think that you could overpower my clear indication? Men like you scare me that they would crush a rose and use their fingers to fight their sharp thorns saying no. So next time a woman says no, do us all a favour and go, for I've not seen a woman in ecstasy over a man who's beamed at her from his car. So please get into reality if you clearly live in a fantasy of where a woman could never say no. Sorry, it's a short one, but that's it for me.
Woo, 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 woo. Killed
But
it.
I love that from the get-go.
You said so much in the few words that you said there that I think that would have blown anyone's mind if they heard it, not just in person. I mean, it's blown our mind listening to it here right now as well. So I'm so happy that you shared it with us. I'm not going to ask what the inspiration behind it was as well, but did you say he was in an Audi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
that kind of explains half the reason why he was such a dick, to be fair. But that's my own personal opinion. I'm going to leave it there because I think Beth said everything herself. Can you please give up one more time for Beth Sullivan? And from one poet to the north to another poet from the north, someone whose pen is extremely poisonous when it needs to be, and extremely sweet when it needs to be as well. Can you please give up one more time for the one, the only, the amazing Rowan?
Hi. Thank you. Yeah, I'd written something specifically for International Women's Day, but turns out it's too long. It's like 6 minutes, so not doing that one. So I've gone for a different one, and it's an erotic one, and I decided to do this one instead because it explores women's sexuality and that it's not something that we should be ashamed of expressing. So yeah. Buttons popping, lips locking, hips rocking, but we need to slow it down. Your gaze follows my fingers as they play up my thighs, burning heat as you eye the ties, but you don't move because you're enjoying the surprise. Tonight, our bodies are our playground. Laughter and lust as I slowly undress, feather light touches, kisses placed against your chest. Your taste, your touch, you've got me obsessed. I want to wrap myself around you and never let go. Silk ties soft on the bed, darkness encasing my head, ready and waiting for my body to be read. A shriek and a giggle as you lick my elbow. Naughty or nice, you can't decide, so out come the dice and you're glad that I'm tied. One move and I gasp, I'm in for the ride. Shivers racking me to my core. Nails dragging across my skin, liquid poured as you lap up the gin. I crave to feel you within. Every line, every crevice, all there for you to explore. But now it's my turn, I'm in control. My lips around you, one of my goals. But first, it's my time to roll. And you chuckle as you see the light in my eyes. I kiss my way from your lips to your hips. Electricity flows from my fingertips. Both bodies reaching new highs. Music plays softly in the background. My body moves to the beautiful sound. You watch every step, transfixed, spellbound. Straining to stay still, not reach out a hand. And now it's a test of how long you can't touch as you watch my pleasure. It becomes too much, but still, you hang back, and to the bedsheets you clutch. Your voice filled with longing, but no demand. And it's your voice that hits me, pulling me like a marionette, and we're together making silhouettes. I'm making you sweat as you're making me wet, and when you move, I move, and now our bodies popping, lips rocking, hips rocking, finding our groove. Through the night, we kiss and we bite, going past the morning light. Your imprint, my new tattoo. My breath you stole, filling every part I'm whole. I crave to feel you deep within my soul. Finally done, you whisper, I love you.
Oh,
Steamy.
I mean, the fiery red hair kind of gives away the intense and passion that the intensity and passion that Rowan shows in all her poetry herself. But it didn't she didn't disappoint there. Not at all. Not at all. That was beautiful. And dare I say, slightly titillating. Anyway, I'm not going to say any more. I don't want my students to be seeing me on YouTube saying this kind of stuff. All I'm going to say is, can you please give up one more time for Rowan Poison Quill writing? Right. So we at this time should have a poem from Swathi, who has disappeared at the moment as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one more poet on, and then we'll have a break, and then hopefully Swathi can join us again. And we're going to end with another teacher, someone who performed our last open mic, and someone who didn't disappoint, and definitely will not be disappointing tonight because he's an English teacher, so he must have metaphors, as many metaphors as a metaphorist, hopefully. Could you please give it up for the one, the only, the amazing Aaron G2?
Hello, everyone, and hi, Abdullah. Hope you're doing well. So today I'm just going to read a poem all about celebration, and it's for anyone who's ever been through difficult moments in their lives and have come out stronger for it. So this poem is called The Rambunctious Celebration. Grandos with colour confetti, blue whimsical banners, Kellerwelly cake, and presents galore, with an open casket service, my caput mortium in a coffin, waiting for sundown to build myself back in my own way. Luminous like Saturn's face, wiser than yesterday. My Vixenian renaissance incinerates the weak me. That is why so much depends upon. Thank you.
You got to say that line about the incinerator again. Say it one more time.
Yeah, sorry. So my Vixenian renaissance incinerates the weak me.
Say that again.
My Vixenian renaissance incinerates the weak me.
I'm still just trying to get over is it the oxymoron?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Sorry, I don't know what that means at all, but I love that word already.
So it's I can't even pronounce it now. Vixenian, sorry.
Vixenian.
Yeah.
As
the phoenix.
Phoenixian. Phoenixian. I can't say it as well, but you said it better than I can. You said it so many times in a row, and man, I'm in awe. I'm a little bit jealous, actually, Aaron. That was beautiful. That was amazing. Can you please give up one more time for the one, the only, the beautiful, the amazing Aaron G2?
Thank you.
Right.
And thank you for the new word, Phoenixian.
That's probably our prompt now. That's our poetry prompt.
Use it more. Use it wherever you can. In
We're
conversations.
no longer called BYOB poetry. We're now called Phoenixian poetry. Right. I was going to do a poem of my own if the internet would work with me, because well, everyone's been doing a bit of love poetry, and I thought I'd do a poem. It's the only poem that I've done, which is kind of for my wife. So it's kind of a love poem, and I guess it's on the theme of International Women's Day. So I thought I'd do this poem before we got on to our break. So I want you to save the debate and let's face it, because we all know that Dave Chappelle was the greatest. But I work with comedians of younger ages with innocent minds and no real hatred, because from the mouth of babes come the funniest phrases. Because there's nothing like a teenager saying something so bizarre, I forget my professional veneer, or when I hear a baloney bar that my ears seem to steer me towards the orator to bring me some cheer. Because deep down, my biggest fear is a deep frown I can't replace with a smile and a chuckle to make my class feel elated. Especially after that exam they should have revised for left them deflated. And at the end of the day, spent with stress, it's easy to forget as we're rapidly racing to back home or other welcoming spaces to take a deep breath. Lungs are inflated and sigh as we finally greet loving faces. And embrace at first, I whisper in her ear a funny quip and affectionate smiles starting from her eyes and ending at her lips. And I'll end this list lest it become too intimate, but this the theme was laughter, and my wife is who I want to share mine with. Thank you.
Woo, 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 woo.
So that was one of my first few poems that I wrote a long time ago, and it's one of those ones where I never write love poetry, but I know that I need to do one for my wife. Otherwise, how am I a poet without being a love poet as well? So yeah, that is definitely dedicated to her. So I have been soft-spoken and I will be on the call. However, I will be in the background because our co-host Akor will be taking the stage after the break. So we're going to have a 20-minute break, and could we please be back here for 9 p.m. to get started for our next for the next part of our show. But I've been soft-spoken. You guys have been amazing, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you.
I just hit the belly. 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 Rude boy, I'm the serious. I thank you ain't enough for my services. I was probably an accident, but I know what my purpose is. My skin is immaculate, but I've done some dirty things. Serving it. Trap, strap on the lap like a serviette. Bang, Sammy Sam, circling. But fam, when the man at the van, I was hurdling. Fast forward, 1 foot in the industry door. Which way should I go? Can't call it. Same time they gave Thing 24. I wish you could ask Stormin', but I can't give him a ring anymore. You see, when I feel cornered, all I do is think of before. I drive back to the house I struggled in. What was that like? The one bed with the bathroom. The kitchen in the front room. My front room had the oven in.
You are now listening to the sounds of BYOB Poetry. Currently,
loading, just buffering.
Get fine wine.
I'm upstairs writing bars on my daughter's colouring. Embarrassed, had a bill to pay. And my girl had to cover it. My guy said I should come on the move. All he needs me to do is just cover him.
And moving swiftly on, the AMD speaks a prayer.
Popular guy, delivering pharmaceuticals. I was pray you kill your suicidal tendencies. I pray your friends are still your friends who carry the same energy when outside of your periphery. I pray you find focus and peace through your piety. I pray you raise and elevate to your true being after falling to your knees. I pray you see your amazing grace. I pray you see the Elohim in your image when you look into the mirror and see your face. I pray you have better days and that you stop chasing validation from others while learning to set your own pace. I pray your healing grows out of its infancy, that your roots are strengthened and won't be asphyxiated by vines of gossip and cruelty. I pray you shed old leaves, that your concrete jungle blooms a money tree, so you will never again know the wintry cold of poverty. I pray you find a place for the pain. I pray you no longer long for those from who you are estranged, but that you arrive in a place where you can appreciate the flower in you could never have grown without the rain. I pray you arrive in a place where you won't always take this life so seriously and are able to see the beauty that exists simultaneously with these tragedies. I pray you receive empathy, that others know your condition is not a fallacy, because the truth is that one day it could easily be any of them, as easily as it could have been me.
A prayer for better days, a prayer for better ways, to find good peace, good state of mind. So let's uplift each other now. We've swayed in different ways, but it's time for better days. So here's a prayer for you and I. So let's uplift each other now. Let's uplift each other now. Let's uplift each other now. Lift each other now.
And that was AMD Speaks Prayer. Moving on to Woodsy, Man Down. Welcome to BYOB Poetry Radio. We'll be back at 9 p.m. for the second part of our show.
I was always in the corner but never in the ring. But now this is my calling, mental health, I'm answering, I'm in. Now you got me on the line, but never had me on the ropes. It's an uphill battle and I'm coping with the slopes. Taking more steps, making progress. I'm focused, I'm training all the time. From being so stressed, emotions just playing on my mind. I don't think that I'm depressed, but I know that I'm not happy. Just because I'm smiling on the outside doesn't mean inside that I'm not angry. Because I am, and I do feel down. Sometimes I just want to let it out and scream out loud. But you know what it's like, that's not allowed. You're a man, be proud. They'll be telling you man up, until they're screaming man down. Saying why didn't he speak up? Because you put the man down. Man down, man down, man down. Suicide is on the rise and they're surprised by the figures. Well, numbers don't lie like the smiles in your pictures. You've been soul searching till you're itching all the blisters. Put a filter on your feelings, see them leaving in the distance. Man down, man down, man down. Have you ever been down in the depths of a dark place where the silence is so loud you can hear your heart race? It's like you're in a car chase but the lights are on red. Partaking high tech scent left on red. Going from missed out to missed calls to missing to I miss them. You can't put a filter on your feelings, hear them screaming in the distance. Man down, man down, man down. Now I'm trying, I'm training, I'm taking my time and I'm testing my brain and my body. I'm aiming for heights from the lows and I'm focused on goals and my growth. So let's go and we'll grow and we'll and now I'm breathing. This is more than boxing. This is more than sport. This is the fight against our mental health and this is fighting talk. It's not always about the KO, it's about being okay. Sometimes you have to say no, we know it's gonna be okay. Speak to your friends. Trust me, it helps. It's not a bad thing to talk about how you felt. Fighting mental health. Let's take our first steps. It's not about how many times you knock a man down, but all the times he gets up and prepares for what's next.
And that was Woodsy Man Down. And moving on, BYOB Radio presents Broken Pen, I Am Shahid.
All of us are actualizations of the Almighty. Awesome and all likely to adorn auras of brightness before buying into being belittled by beings of frequencies below 90. Beauty bestowed by blessings beyond binary boundaries. Bun Babylon, become brave, be bold. Carve connections carefully. Craving companionship can cause calamity. Don't dilly-dally, delaying decisions will definitely disrupt your destination. Dreadful dogmas, diminishing destinies, described as deities demanding duties, establishing energies. Enough empathy to emotionally elevate your enemies. Ecstasy enhances everything, especially when entering entities. Eventually, fickle feelings fall far from the facade fabricated by forever. Friendship forged from fear of facing fallacies, fictitious fantasies, famished families, grieving. In this gentrification generation, greed generated by grounds getting gated. God-given gifts gradually getting gutted. Gangsters grabbing guns. How far has our hesitation helped heartlessness? Hatred has homes held hostage. The hippocampus. Hunger has a horrid history. HMP holds hurt humans humbled by hindering how they heal. Imagine ignoring the importance of injustice imposed by incarceration. It's interesting. I immediately identify the institution, imprison the impoverished, isolating insurgents, just so the jury can judge. Join justice, justify Judas's jealousy towards Jesus. Keyword knowledge, kids known for killing. 2K18 kinda keeps kings kneeling. Kemet lost, literally leaving leaders looking like liars. Logic left lethargic, listen. Love lightens load, so live lovingly. Maniacal men make madness mandatory. Money is meaningless. Mesmerize many while manipulating a medulla, making nerves non-compliant, numb, nil, nothing, nada. Narcissist nonsense, neutralize nature. Necessity nullified by nihilism. Neo and a Nebuchadnezzar, only the one can open the orifice. The oracle offered options, omit or overcome. Abstain from oppressing one's optics.
Empty your mind.
Overdose on oxygen. Prana penetrates the pineal perfectly. People prefer procrastinating, pretending power is physical. Psychological prisons patrol a person's purpose. The Pied Piper plays his piccolo. Picture Pythagoras, quietly quantifying questions by the quarry. There's quality and quantity in my quill. Quintessential rights removed, rapidly rewriting rules of reality. Righteousness ridiculed, rotten relationships run ravage. Run away? Really? Running ruins realization, so stay secure. Seek serenity. Solitude solidifies when you surrender to the sanctum. This speech is serendipity. The soul succumbs to softness. Take time. Treasure today. The truth is temporary. Think telepathically. Train the thalamus thoroughly. Transcend your terrestrial tether. Unify universally. You're usually up Uranus. What an understatement. Ugly and unhappy. Unplug the umbilical. Utilize the unknown. Upper class or unrefined vent. Villains, violence, vermin, verily vacuum your vivid visions. Victimize viciously. Validate your value. Vulgar vessels are vague and vitalized virtually in a vortex. Variety in volumes. Wade in the water. Why was whitewashing what was wits? World on workers welcome with warrant while we wonder when will Wakanda weaponize its warriors? Where's Waldo? Wealthy, worshipped, with the wrath of war weighing woefully. X chromosomes are the X factor when engaging in XXX. Why? Making us X-Men. But they want to keep it X-rated. You yearn to yank yourself from yesterday. Years ago you were younger. Youthfulness only in yearbooks. Yes, YOLO, but don't yo-yo. Yield yin and yang inside of the yoni. Youngling zoned in a zygote with zero zeal for Zion. Love the motherland. Essential to my point like Zaire. Warriors clan together like the Zulu. All we need is Zen. Don't sleep on anything I've just said from A to Z.
That is the one, the only Broken Pen with I Am Shahid. Currently catch Broken Pen on The Voice UK, part of Team Will I Am. Moving on from one fire poet to another. Riz Ahmed, where are you from?
They ever ask you where you from? Like, where you really from? The question seems simple, but the answer's kinda long. I could tell them Wembley, but I don't think that's what they want. But I don't want to tell them more, cause anything I say is wrong. Britain's where I'm born, and I love a cup of tea and that, but tea ain't from Britain. It's from where my DNA is at, and where my genes are from. That's where they make my jeans and that, then send them over to NYC, that's where they stack the peas and that. Skinheads meant I never really liked the British flag, and I only got the shits when I went back to pack. And my ancestors Indian, but India was not for us. My people built the West, we even gave the skinhead swastikas. Now everybody everywhere want their country back. If you want me back to where I'm from, then bruv, I need a map. Or if everyone just gets their shit back, then that's blessed for us. You only built a piece of this place, bruv, the rest was us. Maybe I'm from everywhere, but nowhere. No man's land, between the trenches. Nothing grows there, but it's fertilized by the brown bodies fought for you in the wars, so when I spit, a poppy grows there. Yeah, I make my own space in this business of Britishness. Your question's just limiting, is based on appearances. Stop trying to make a box for us. I'll make my own abrupt epoxy concept of us. Very few fit these labels, so I'm repping for the rest of us who know that there's no place like home and that stretches us. Who code switch, so don't piss me off with cricket tests for us or question us about our loyalty, our blood and sweat's enough. Born under a sun that you made too hot for us. Kidnapped by empire and diaspora fostered us. Raised by Brunga garage and halal southern fried chicken shops. A junglist, a jungly. I'm Mowgli from the Jungle Book. I'm John Barnes in the box. I blaze hard off the mosque. I bend words like Brown and West until they just spell whoop. My tribe is a quest to a land that was lost to us, and its name is dignity. So where I'm from is not your problem, bruv.
Shining, glowing.
Back in 5 minutes.
I am light, so I fade back into it. Often, my aura softens hard foregrounds. My light merges with source sounds. I saw sound floating on it. Massless flying carpet. I saw sound, and it knew me from ancient times. Patient rhymes speak undiscovered languages from unexcavated cities, standing still in no time beneath the soles of our feet. The souls of defeat never make it to the light. Various shapes of shadows crept creepingly from the gallows to overwhelm the feeble and weakened souls that didn't equate deep enough with the rays of the sun. Me, the son, and the daughter speaking puns over water to ripple divine messages of guidance to you. There inside of you are light beams waiting to come out and burst, blessing and cleansing any doubts, any curse. Angels that praise the Creator by singing those righteous symphonies and blinging in brightness skillfully. Your light is brilliant. Brightness listens when stars glisten, the same stars where prophecy is written, the same stars on which you be wishing, stardust dripping, cosmos gripping, liquid ambrosia sipping, burning flame in my essence, I be shining. I was born in the same moment as the sun, moonchild, phasing continuously, the light is within me, pouring from me, luminosity transcends thee, I am light, I am shining, glowing, I am shining, glowing, I am shining, glowing, I am shining, glowing.
And listen to the sounds of Poetica with the light. I'll play one more song before we continue with our regularly scheduled program. And it's another banger from Poetica, and it's called Abracadabra.
He said, my gift is magnanimous, flow is fantabulous, abracadabra for the demons who think they have a chance at grabbing us, and we stay protected from our enemies and nemesis. From Revelation to Genesis, we got next. There's no sidestepping this, we're setting this. Written in stone tables like Care Paravel, riding lions and unicorns, escaping from carousels, soaring the skies, exploring the night, pouring the wine libations and restoring the light. Searching for the missing note, cause I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. Sing hallelujah, sing praises unto the Almighty. You can try fight me, but like I said, I keep hedges of protection round about me. 8-winged angels creating a chrysalis around me. I christen this preacher, pastor and reverend in my bloodline. Rest in heaven, Leonora, grandma always had the punchlines. I punch rhymes and beat up the beat. I beat it like MJ. D. Grant told Mitchell I'm the woman equivalent to Penn. Say he breaks pens and fractures quills in the process. When seeing words on the back of his eyelids, super conscious, sleep talking with the progress. Some shoot rock, some smoke cess. Acquiring the lungs of a dragon like Merlin the magic. Maybe one should smoke less. Breathing the fire of Yah. Melting the outer crust of countless moons and dog stars to form swords to fight victorious wars in the cosmos. Extragalactic, autodidactic, we teach ourselves to overcome these battles, maneuvers and tactics, collecting medals for valor. Like a young woman I'm acquainted with, scripture this, picture this, see the colors that I'm painting with hues that you can't fathom. Grey to dark matter, I move like a phantom in the shadows of the dark side of the moon. Moving through portals and houses like Enoch saw, I'll see you soon. Transcending space and time, ascending as I place these rhymes in the core of your consciousness and your philosopher's stone.
2 minutes timer.
So you can
2 minutes timer.
relearn about yourself and God every time you dive deep in your zone, sparking memories of the future and premonitions of the past. Extrasensory perception of the present, so the concept of time will last. I chitter chatter and manipulate matter. See the forces of evil scatter from this Christ conscious rapper.
And that was Abracadabra by Poetica. You've been listening to BYOB Poetry. That was our BYOB radio segment. And welcome back to the show. My name is SoftSpoken, and I've been your host for the past hour. And now I humbly pass you back to our co-host, the one, the only, the amazing, Akor Opalawa.
Hello. Okay, welcome back. It's nice to have all of you here. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a good day. Hope you have a cup of tea. Everyone's ready and good to go. All right. It's been so lovely listening to everyone read their poems. There's some people I've heard a lot here, and every time I hear their work, it always still fascinates me. From the opening piece by I forget his name. Yeah, but I've just really loved your pieces, so it's really nice to be here. I'll read one piece before I continue. All right, so just give me a second. So, not even when the colors fade from our world will our love dwindle. Dandelions and tulips still sing in winter, even when their petals are strewn, old and traveling. I once told you that we should be busy in an empty house, you upstairs or down, me downstairs or up. My heart has learned to beat to the sound of presence, to calm to silence of knowing you are near. It has learned to beat enough to want you more. I can hear the wind and its friend whisper the romances they have carried in their unending journeys. I can tell you their secrets. Let them fall on you fall on you like me, and know you will find joy and amusement in their company. I will hold you into the seasons of new colors and new worlds, of new petals and working bees, my dear. Thank you. All right. So, first off, after me is the amazing Geraldine. And yeah, take it away.
Hi. Yeah, I just want to say thanks to BYOB for keeping the online poetry thing going, and it's brilliant. It's been a while since I've been on, but I've kind of been catching snippets of it. I was going to do a different poem, and then I realized it was International Women's Day, so I'm doing this poem called Object. There's no shame in tenderness, so rip the cross binding your mouth. Perform a verbal striptease that leaves aghast and agape the bar makers of the muse. Caress our egos with your silken tongues and give praise to the men who immortalized us as sexless and sexy seducers of their patriarchal power, who founded us as goddesses of love, war, and the home, depicted us as mothers of country, earth, and children. We grew, iridescent in their adoration, carnivalesque felines with no howl. But this is our time. Slash open the chambers and the meaty sinew of the secret keepers who have been innovators and captivators for centuries. Abandon your halos, slip into a cotton dress. Feel confident in your own fleshy chic. Cut up your power suits and lay down your stilettos. Breathe deep, expunge forth your fiery vocals and take them as your muse. For all men are not broken, as all women are not devoid of sound. All men are not broken, all women are not devoid of sound.
Love them last lines.
Okay, tell her. All men are not broken, and all women are not devoid of
sound.
Sound. Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. When did you write that?
I actually wrote that a while ago because when I started out on doing open mics, there was quite a gender imbalance. There was very few women in Northern Ireland doing spoken word or open mics. Thankfully, 10, 15 years later, that's different, and it's like 50-50 now. But there was very few of us doing spoken word at that time, so that's where that kind of piece came from. And there was a lot of guys doing poems about broken relationships. So I was just saying to the girls, you talk about your men too.
Well, so have you found that the themes that people write about have changed over the years? Has that occurred to you?
I think so. Yeah, everything's kind of on the table now. There's nothing that people won't write about. And I think it's more possibly the more that people have got out to open mics and stuff, and they're hearing different things and they're being inspired by different things, and they're going to more poetry workshops that are bringing poems out of them that they wouldn't expect to come out of them. So yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you around again, and we get some more poignant lines like the ones you just dropped again. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So the next poet we have is my brother, Swati. Where are you, senor? Make thyself known.
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you. So yeah, this one that I wrote a while back. Quick story, I had to can't remember which open mic I did. It was after an open mic event, and then it finished late. And then the following morning, I had to take my family to the station because they went on a trip to Eurostar. So it's titled Eurostar, as in you are a star, Eurostar. Abruptly, I woke up at 4:37. I just dropped my bestie around midnight-ish after performing poetry in front of royalty. It was plain to see elements and energies in different places and planes, both parallel and perpendicular, yet teaching the same curriculum. There's a reason my march puts the chain on the door.
Say it again, say it again, say it again. From the start. We smashed this. Start again.
Alright,
Sorry,
cool.
Akor.
Abruptly, I woke up at 4:37. I just dropped my bestie around midnight-ish after performing poetry in front of royalty. It was plain to see elements and energies in different places and planes, both parallel and perpendicular, yet teaching the same curriculum. There's a reason my march puts the chain on the door. It's not to lock me in, but to protect me. And that's always baffled me because, as you can see, I'm a grown man. And in my mind, my pride was telling me to push things aside because I'm always right. Until the day my grandma died, that's when I felt the definition of being forever left. That's when I solved the riddle. Now I constantly move left and right so we can meet in the middle. I'm the second child who's more like Malcolm in the middle and welcomed in the hood. I almost forgot Ndirikumen. I used to pronounce A-E-I-O-U as A-E-I-O-U. The power of these vowels faded. My first tongue was slowly cut, but luckily I realized quickly that if you say A-E-I-O-U prolongedly, it kind of sounds like, hey, I'm England. I own you. And when it clicked, I suddenly understood my actions seemed crude, not just rude. Car, if you take out what cannot be seen, my mom's response would be, eh? Making all that's left nothing but crud. There's a reason my march puts the chain on the door. It's not to lock me in, but to protect me. And that's always baffled me because, as you can see, I'm a grown man. But a grown man living in a society, one where my own mother is stressed every day about burying me. But a grown man living in this society, one where my own mother is stressed every day about burying me. But that never fazed me because ends is comfy. Even under the barking of dogs manipulated by the economy, each time I breathe this air that's surrounding me, I choose to get closer to my pursuit of fresh air floating all over me. I found out no matter how many times I brush, I can't get waves. And the day I stopped getting waved was the day I started chasing the rush of surfing a wave. But that sounds all white to me, and man can't swim. They say black people can't swim. How can they when we par one another saying man's fresh out of boat? He just swam overseas. Too blind to see the reality, we oversee how our ancestors came overseas. There's a reason our parents focus on grades overseas. We are lacking the education of how that has come to be. I once drowned at the age of 3, and I was too young to see I had opened death's door. Whew, that was a close call. Well, that's not true at all, because that's a memory I strongly recall. Amongst all the bubbles choking my lungs, she heard my call. My eyes were burning, water flushing beneath the eyelids, washing hope away from the core of my heart. Shh. Picture silence. Now, picture the most intense workout where every muscle fiber in your body is burning out. Lactic acid starts to build up. Your thunderous heartbeat starts to roar out. Shh. Now picture a workout in empty silence. A violent red spot appears, slowly transforming into her burning dress, instantly holding me in her softly soaked arms. The storm calms because I am blessed. Love is a verb, and it's common yet uncommon, as we don't see love as an action. So let's be like Common and let love have the last word. But no matter my age, I'll always be her son. A son that's a star and lights up her world. There's a reason Mamaj puts the chain on the door. It's not to lock me in, but to protect me. And that doesn't baffle me, because as you can see, since the age of 3, Dirikurarama and free, I am alive and free. Thank you.
That should be illegal. To have that much potency in one's pen, like we're just all body bagged right now. So bye, I'm out.
And that's why my parents prefer grades overseas. How dare you? That didn't go over my head. That did not go over my head. But how dare you troll? Damn, what a line!
I had to put that in.
Man, that was good. That was really good. I like the part where you said, I was too young to see that I'd opened death's door. What I got from that is, it's like you opened the door, but you didn't go through it, right? And it's that thing where the fearlessness, or the ignorance that grants fearlessness to children allows them to come close to things that are potentially harmful, but allows them a wider berth to have adventures. That's what I got from it, right? But please, what were you saying in your bars?
Do you know what? I'll be real with you. It was just one of those moments where I think I even wrote this, like, I think it was around 5 a.m. It was more like free write. So even when I revisited it a couple months ago, I was like, okay. And when I revisited this morning, I had a different perspective of it. It's like each time I revisit that line, it means a different meaning as how I look at it. Am I looking at it as a 3-year-old? Am I looking at it as the me now? Am I looking at it as the me when I was 18? So it all has a different element to how it played. But I think one thing that made me change that perspective is because I was speaking to one of my friends and he asked me, have you ever been close to experiencing death? And obviously I said no, but then I forgot that I'd written this before. And then now revisiting, I'm like, okay, we're going to have a different conversation next time I see you.
Yeah. All right. Right. Thanks, man. And it's really, it's really amazing. That poem, it was rich, it was filled. I think someone said it in the chat that it has so much imagery inside it, and he or she was getting over saturated with how his mind was just, flaring up. But I like that about your poetry. The two things that really stand out of the many things in your poetry is that use of imagery. I really love it when people use imagery and adjectives that work some things into being, and then your resolve to use your native language, right? It doesn't sound like you're adding extra to the poem. It sounds like you're crafting the poem around an idea that is true to you. And it seems like the language, when you use them, right? What's the language again? Sorry.
Shona.
Shona. When you're using Shona, it's like you craft the poetry around it because it's something true to you. And I really like the way you do that. Thanks, man, for sharing it.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. It's always a pleasure to bless.
How do I say thank you in Shona, by the way?
Mazrita.
Can you just teach us how to say thank you? Wait,
what?
Hold on.
It's Ma, so Ma is M-A, and Zri, which is Z-V-I, and then Ta, which is T-A.
Yeah.
So Mazrita.
Mazrita.
Zri.
Mazrita.
Zrita. Yeah.
All right. Mazrita.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thanks, man. So we'll move on to the next poet. Thank you. I'm the one slowing this down because I'm asking too many questions. Please, y'all gotta forgive me. So next we have Ko. K-O-H. Do your thing.
Me? Okay. Oh yeah, I'm stuck because everyone's doing a cross between really in the jugular kind of stuff, like with their women's International Women's Day, and then all the love pieces. So I'm kind of torn on what to do. I do have like a women's piece, but I'm not in that headspace right now. I'm a bit down. So I'm just gonna do this one, I guess. It doesn't have a title. I think I'm gonna call it Poison. Okay, people stop messaging me. Okay, let's go. I'm Kofi Noor for those who are tuned in on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else you are. Hope you're all well. Okay. We see the symptoms as they infest our emotional health and intelligence, yet pick our poison carelessly. Words spiral ceaselessly when we are plagued by performance fatigue in an effort to feign that we are not sick. Sickness seeps into bloodstreams of mental insecurities, attacking colonies of antibodies that safeguard us from heartache. Handbags and glad rags putting materialistic blindfolds on red flags and rationality. Now left with heaps of emotional body bags at the altars of our hearts. Commotion, cyber warfare from hidden screens whilst plagued by restless dreams cannot right wrongs of the spiritual warfare that we signed up for when we got drafted in this instant gratification. Wholesome boys would never leave us with a society of broken stick men where we fail to stop sacrificial offerings of our brothers and fathers and husbands and sons in the name of this mock masculinity. Yet our femininity is the poison they try to patent, equally smothering our sensibilities whilst we buy in with the same currency we swore to our 8-year-old selves we'd never gamble on. The stock broke, we broke it, now we choke from feelings of emptiness and despondency. Friendships and relationships infected by expectation, while sincerity, humility, and integrity on the verge of extinction by the fragility of skin-deep, Eurocentric standards of beauty. Notions that the correct glitz and the glam and couture attire will reap good deeds and sow seeds of progress and duality in grasses we never think to water. Looks fade, whilst stature and caliber are deemed a thing of the past. We seem to never look past the paintings of cosmetic brushes on blank canvases that ink our skin night out, day in. Layers upon layers of products that we hope will be productive in holding our masks in place. What's a true face when you're blue-faced and you know he was two-faced and making two beds to lie in between sheets that you didn't know were sewn from the same lace? We carve marks on bodies of others we use, abuse, and then discard whilst trying to stay afloat with one foot in each other's arcs, knowing full well we can never weather storms this way. Steering sinking ships with loose lips and vanity. Waves continue to come again and again, crashing against the hull of arcs we find sanctuary in. The pull of tide drags and lulls the voice inside, screaming to be set free from the monsters we hide. Disease with traits of distrust, lies, and cheating, while our hands hold fragile hearts that hemorrhage and keep bleeding even after we put lyrical sutures in place of stitches. Caged ourselves on the page as we sign off and settle for the sage that is this fallacy of fake it till you make it. What will it take for us to see that we are now left on the cusp of insanity? Where do we find the antidote from this poison we intentionally swallowed ourselves? Is the cure in the elixir of life where rivers flow under, when our very own youth never had rivers of clean water to water their grasses and nurture their emotional depths? Oceans held back like dams from palms of the regimes they are forced to bow under. The same youth that are still shackled in schools to a colonized curriculum that benefits the corporate hierarchy, while serving the patriarchy that held our very forefathers in bondage in the colonized slums. So tell me, child, did you ever think you'd find your love would be the price of intention or mere commodity?
All right. Okay.
You are
I can see the comments going wild right there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Wait. First off, the conclusion there. You say, "Tell me, child, did you ever think your sorry, can you say?
Did you ever think you'd find? So tell me, child, did you ever think you'd find your love would be the price of intention or mere commodity?"
Oh yeah. I mean, that was good. First off, thank you. But do you? Can you talk more about that? Do you think love is more of intention or?
Like, I have a poem, like Romeo said, love is a verb. I have a poem like that, like love is doing, and in every action that we do, whether it's waking up and making the other person a cup of coffee, or like you know, little actions. Like we have different love languages, and some people like myself are more of people who love through action. So like little sentimental things that you'll do for the other person. And I find that in this day and age, people have forgotten to love selflessly because we're constantly bombarded with instant gratification, and we forget, sometimes people forget the intention. Like the person who's receiving the love, they'll reciprocate it, but not with intention. And sometimes you're made to feel like it's just a commodity, like the fact that you're yeah,
no, that's legit true. Thank you so much for that. I mean, yeah, thanks. And it's been a pleasure having you again. I hope you'll be back on the 12th of April because, I want to hear more of this.
I gotta make 12th of April, the 14th is my birthday. Yeah, so that'll be dope. I gotta go make some pounded
what up? Okay. All right. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We'll move to the next poet now, and we have Lottie C. Next.
Hello.
What's up?
Hi. Wow, I feel going after that is difficult. Going after any of these is really difficult. Everyone is incredible. I'm Lottie C. I'm gonna read a poem called Tombstones. Content warning for a bit of swearing, but it's not much, and it's like sexually explicit because, yeah, sex and love, I guess, is a theme. Tombstones. It's the day after Tuesday, and tombstones will never be tawdry again. Tomorrow I get to taste you on a Thursday. It has been 3 since you first took my tongue, 3 weeks since you told the homophobe to fuck off, and we danced at a disco in the dark, looked at daffodils almost blooming in the park, our list of dreams lined up with the beer taps behind the bar. It is the day after Tuesday, and when we fucked, I nearly lost my rings inside you. Not a great thing to do when I'm trying to be chill. After all, leaving my great-grandma's ring in your body isn't exactly low-key. And I have a lot of worry in this new space of almost us. Trying not to fuck it up is number one. Losing an heirloom to the wonder of your biology, improbable feat though you are, might be too far for casual. It is the day after Tuesday, and I'm still reeling from when you called me pretty. Still amazed every time you look at me, because I have damaged hair and I'm trying not to care that my face is round, my chins multiply in the light nonetheless. It is the day after Tuesday, and I collect your compliments like stamps. Validation dripping from your hands and gathering in my lap. I've never cared so much about my eyeliner, anything to make me seem a little brighter, as if I'm not already the sun that meets the moon every time you enter the room. This is a testing tundra of teeth in an era where Tinder is the most likely place to meet. We created space where it all makes sense. It is the day after Tuesday, and it's a terrific total lack of tentacle worship. I've never been more confident in the movement of hips, the promise given between four lips, never more happy to lose myself inside a sinkhole, pink hole, ink hole. You have a hold over me. I am hook, crook, line, and sinker, and I have always been a thinker, but you make me think things I've never thought before. It is the day after Tuesday, and in the morning when she dawns, I no longer mourn the night. We are already bright, slippery, and shimmering in the morning light. We have a bath, and I am not half the girl I was last night. I am more. So are you. Maybe it is true we have an infinite amount of love inside us, but there is also loss, a lot that hurts us. We are restlessly beside ourselves, and it is beautiful. Tomorrow is the day after Wednesday. I am not lost. They say good things come in threes. I'll say it again. You make me weak-kneed. I think you are all to me. My Titan girl, I thought we were a tale lost to time and crossed wires. I've seen this 1,000 times or more, this total devotion. You hold me at your mercy. But when I wake up with you mostly, I'm just glad that we get to be entirely ourselves, on purpose. Every day we spend, you as you and me as me. Thank you.
Woo, 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 woo. Okay. Flow.
Thank you for that. Your delivery is tender in how you read. Even when you curse, or when you swear, it's still soft when it comes. That's a weird thing to say, but yeah, I really love your delivery, and your poem was really lovely. Thanks for sharing that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Hopefully we'll see you again. Yeah, because I'd like to read your. I'm more of a reader, so I would really love to read your work sometime. But yeah, so let's move on. We have Molly Rubin next. Molly Rubin.
Hello, hi. Couldn't find my unmute button, the classic Zoom problems. So I'm going to read a new piece. It is really new and I haven't read it that much, so hopefully I get it right. And this is called Axis Aligned. I slip through a secret midnight ritual into a pocket of breath suspended between body and air. A regular rhythm that makes ripples out of raindrops puddling to an almost halt. I engage my muscles in unwavering stability, stack each segment of my skeleton meticulously, and I inhale. I inhale myself into being, harnessing the harmonic exchange of essence and element, my air with the source, and I absorb the spirit and science of existence. I know I am here. I believe I am here. I feel I am here. My heart is beating life for me. My body and breath are aligned in peace, projecting energy to a perfect north and weighting it through my roots to Earth's core. Axis aligned. I become the channel of global bloodstream, the veins of the poles in perfect alignment, the circuit carrying the constant current of universal electricity. I am the ultimate center of gravity. Syncopations of droplets dip out of midnight and into dreaming, nestling energy within my arms, brushed up against my heart, and everything is circle. Everything is cycle. And I know I am here. I believe I am here. I feel I am here. As my muscles contract in the catharsis of chance, that suspended breath tightens, tightens, tightens into a generous looseness. And I exhale. I exhale myself into being, share my inner peace with the air who delivers it back to my body, to me, release the life-giving electricity. I am still the current of more than me. Another breath breaks loose, another heartbeat breaks free, and I will never expend all this energy. Everything is circle. Everything is cycle. I am an everlasting imprint of breath on air, of heart on blood. I will always exist, somehow, somewhere.
Woo! Everything is circle. Everything is cycle. I was typing it in the comments.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that. That's a very beautiful piece. There's a part you said, I inhale myself into being, and another part you said, I exhale myself into being. And I like how somehow it feels the poem is just about you within a breath, which it's about existing. I love it. It's such a good poem.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot.
Thanks for sharing that. Hope to have you more on the show. I think it's the first time I'm seeing you here.
Yeah, it is. And I hope to be back more.
It'll be lovely. Okay, thank you. All right,
thank you
so we'll
much.
move to the next poet. Thank you. Sorry. We'll move to Lorraine Boyce. Lorraine. Yes.
Oh, Lorraine, I think you're unmuted.
Lorraine, press the press the audio button, and it should say connect to internet. Wait, did you press a button that says disconnect audio? Message it in the comments. I'll sort Lorraine out.
All right. Here you go.
Lorraine, probably the best thing to do is to leave the call and then join again.
Could be the headphones.
Yeah, it could be the headphones.
Unplug your headphones, maybe, Lorraine.
Shall I do it without headphones?
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Yeah, we can
We
hear
got you.
Oh,
We can hear you
I thought
perfectly, yeah.
headphones made it better. Never mind. Okay. Oh well, this is just a poem I wrote. Well, it's quite significant when I wrote it. I wrote it quite late at night on the 6th of January. By the end, you'll understand why I told you that. I'd been to a Zoom in Gloucestershire. Well, I hadn't been, you know. But I do enjoy an open mic. Poems to hear, many to like. I travel further now, I can Zoom. I'm a witch wordsmith on a broom. Into other cities, out to a shire county. So many poets, such literary bounty. It's good to meet poets from various places and try to remember their words, names, and faces. Hosts usually have a brief comfort break for a tea, a pee, or are those kids still awake? Sometimes for those staying put on the sofa, there's a brief clip of a land snail or maybe a gopher. Football once, screen locked, only commentary. Some hope that hiccup was just momentary. But on this evening, as we chatted a bit, we were shocked into silence as we were all hit by a poet sharing his TV screen. Not a film, not a docu, sadly, so not a dream. News cameras in Washington filmed live insurrection, stripping away centuries of assumed protection. We didn't know details, but were earthed with a bump to watch violence goaded by President Trump. Held in a moment, we bonded to see dystopia flourish in the land of the free. Reality ripped our words, stunned our thoughts. As we sat on our sofas, America fought. Thank you.
Well done, Lorraine. That was
You haven't changed, buddy.
Yeah, that was really nice. I love I think someone said in the comments also the chat, the calm with your delivery and how you took the story from you here in England to America and back. Yeah, it's really, really nice poem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully you'll be back for more. So we would move to the next poet now, and that is Toya. Is Toya here? Just do your thing, Toya.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me here. It's my first time on BYOB. But yeah, it's been nice to hear like everyone's pieces. They've been very unique, but all very, very good. I feel a little bit nervous, so I'm just gonna try and breathe first. I won't talk too much about this poem before I go into it because A, it's untitled, and B, it's quite personal to myself, so I'm not really sure how to intro it. So I'm just gonna go into it, but first I just need to like breathe for a second. What do you see when you look at me? Do you see my frequency? Do you wish to dance with me? Or do you see that I'm lost inside, lost in life, trying to discover my passion and my why? Or do you simply see the blemishes on my skin, the brownness of my lips, the fullness of my hips, elements of my outer appearance and not what really exists within? My curly locks of hair, how my mouth moves when I inhale, deep breaths of air, the complexities of my skin, and nothing that exists within. When you see me, what do you see? When you see me, do you see me? Do you see the internal fight for my own validation, internal desires, a fight between impulse and temptation? Can you read my thoughts? Are they mapped on a page? Do they give indication of how I feel, emotions of happiness and sometimes rage? Do you see regret for all those times that I wish I followed my heart, but I used logic instead? Do you hear cries of pain for the love I've lost and the frustration that comes with learning to love? Do you feel my worry about the uncertainty of my future and the burden this weighs upon me? Can you smell my worst fears? They are potent because I fear that I'm wasting time. Early 20s is supposed to be my prime, moments of joyful life. Live for the now, but at the same time, think long term. Don't do anything which might later be a flag for concern. Can you taste the hunger on my breath? Hunger for abundance and success. Can you feel me? When you see me, what do you see? When you see me, do you see me? Are your impressions of me just projections of my reflections in my head? Do you see me for me, or do you simply see how I appear instead? How different life would be if you could see me for me and not who I appear to be. Thank you.
Oh, I love the pain you injected in there.
That was incredible.
I can really feel it. The pain.
Yeah, that's cool. Thanks, man. Thanks for that. Like, why did you write that poem? What happened?
Yeah, so I was actually inspired by a song I was listening to. So the song was called Frequency by Toby Ade. He recently released an EP called Frequency, and it's amazing. So definitely recommend everyone to listen. But his kind of a very spiritual person, and in the song he was kind of talking about like people's frequencies and like if you can see beyond a person in terms of beyond their kind of appearance and how they present themselves. And then I don't know, I was just kind of like thinking about that kind of whole theme of frequency and maybe how it applies to myself. So yeah, that's kind of what inspired the piece. Hey, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello?
Akor, you with us?
Kind of froze there.
I think I could.
Can you hear me?
I'm the one that's frozen. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you heard any of what I just said.
I kind of heard part of it. Sorry, my connection, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Every other person heard me. No, I'll watch it online later on. But thank you very much for joining us, and it was really lovely to have you on. And this is your first time. You said you were nervous, but it was so smooth. So thank you. Well done for that. And yeah, on the 12th, hopefully, you either join us or you be online with us and you share with us. And okay. All right. Have I frozen again?
You are, yes.
Yeah.
I think we can just hear you.
So next, yeah, I think I'm frozen. Sorry. Next is Isabel Jean. Do you think? Easy.
Hi.
Iso.
I think I'm yeah, thanks for having me on tonight. I'm the creative campaigner on Instagram. Bear with me, I haven't even eaten tonight because I've been so nervous. So hopefully this goes okay. So this is called The False Protector. I make my way through the house, knife in hand, brains fighting. I know there is no danger, yet my teeth are hard on my lips biting. Why can't I respond logically to being left alone instead of imagining smells of his cologne? The lack of noise fills the void and just reminds me of how much of my brain is destroyed. PTSD tries so hard to be your friend and not foe, desperately trying to protect you from that next blow. But it has no eyes to see your surroundings and even thinks a flower could produce a dangerous pounding. So alone, with just a postman at the door, is why I walk, knife in hand, ready for war. Thank you.
First off, that was like that compact, punchy poem that you just put together in one small pack and just delivered like a bomb. That was amazing.
Thank you.
The last line, can you just read that again, please?
So alone with just a postman at the door is why I walk, knife in hand, ready for war.
Oh, okay. Why? Like, it's apt. It's just, I like when poetry, I'm more on the side of succinct poems, and it just has this thing where every word seems to have been chosen particularly for what it would deliver and how it would work in a poem. What was the inspiration for this poem, and how many revisions did you do to get it to this point?
Well, I have PTSD, so I guess that's where the inspiration came from as such. And
oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. And it was actually a weird scenario where I was by myself in the flat, and I didn't realize it, but there was just a postman at the door. But obviously my brain was like, danger. And so it was just kind of like I wrote a poem around that scenario. And I would say it took me a while to get out because there was just so much kind of fear attached to that experience, but it was good to do. So I'm glad I think you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad you did. I'm literally shaking like a leaf. So thank you so much.
Let me let you go. Okay. But thank you for that. And I would like to read it a lot. If you have it printed somewhere or written down, I would love to read it. If you can share it with the group, or somehow I'll ask you for it later. But thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And all of you have been absolutely sensational. So thanks.
Thank you. We would move to the next poet now. Oh yeah. Am I pronouncing it right? Which is it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're pronouncing it correctly. It's Oya. So okay. Can you hear me okay, actually? Is it working?
Yeah, we can hear you well. Yep.
Awesome. Oh my God, how amazing. Like tonight has been amazing. That last piece just got me. And Toya, I see you so clearly. That was amazing. Like, have really enjoyed this evening. So thank you for having me. I'm like everyone, I've been quite nervous. My first time on BYOB, and I've been sitting here thinking, which one do I do? You know, blah, blah, blah. And I had to resort back to a piece that I wrote 4 years ago. It's one of my favorite pieces, and it's one of my hardest pieces to read. So I'll take my time with it, but it will be under 3 minutes. But ultimately it gives me peace, and it reminds me to choose my friends wisely, to try and be forgiving and not to think badly of people. And it's called My Mother's Wisdom. So I'll go straight into it. You'll get through this, my friend. You will get better. Empty reassurances to a fate clearly written down to the last letter. It's back, Miss Mustafa. You have short years at best. Make sure you eat well and let your tired body rest. Those are the words I hear, along with my dear mother's. When things get worse, princess, don't you dare lie to me like all the others. She held my face with her warm, then healthy hands. She looked me in my eyes and she made clear her plans. My body will change. But my mind will be the last thing it takes. I'm so sorry to ask, my princess. I know it must be causing you unspeakable heartbreak. So I look at the faces already mourning, with lips that speak words I prayed each day dawning. I take a deep breath and I close my eyes, unemotive, disengaged. As I release this inward cry, I look up and simply say, no, she won't. We'll be lucky for another day. I recall the shock on their faces, the awkward mumbles. I recall thinking, where were you through her earlier troubles, when she was able to walk and enjoy being outdoors? The cancer spreading, yes, but not yet visible through her deceptively glowing, radiant, beautiful pores. She needed care, of course, but that burden I would take, just so she could love purely, freely, and forget her looming fate. So I ask, why are you here now? For my mother's comfort, or to release your own guilt, to say that you came to see her and speak with your head at this slight pitiful tilt? My mind is burning, the aggressive flame of crimson. Calm down, princess. Don't think badly, would be my mother's wisdom. Yet this ignorance of a friend is not something for me to accept. A true friend is there to support with every joyful and difficult step. Those who were valid still stand by our lioness's pride through good times right up until we said our heartfelt goodbyes. You weren't there to see her body erode or to feel the lumps which relentlessly invaded and started to show. You put your feelings above that of the need of your lifelong friend. I can't see her like that. Your words that shall haunt you until you meet my queen again. It's back, Miss Mustafa. You have short years at best. Make sure you eat well and let your tired body rest. Those are the words I hear, along with my dear mother's. 1 year, 10 days later, left me orphaned with my 3 brothers. She tried to hold my face with her cold and now decrepit hands. Her voice box was broken, but her eyes were pleading, Princess, do you understand? I took a look into her sunken pupils that slowly stopped responding. A tear gracefully trickled down her cheekbone, which was now protruding. I understand, my angel, and it's how I will continue to live. Live, love, learn, laugh, my princess. But above all, please learn how to forgive. And that's dedicated to my mum.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you, Oya.
You stole my heart, oh yeah. You stole my fucking heart.
And I didn't cry winning.
Well done.
Princess, I was going to cry, I think. I'm not sure.
She's a pretty badass woman, and she's inspired a lot of amazing women in her lifetime, and was a bit too modern for her time. So I think if she was born again, she would have probably been some kind of like she would have taken over Trump's role, definitely. So really proud and honoured to share that with you guys. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing such a very, it was, that's a really lovely poem. Thank you. And it obviously was very personal to you. So
yeah,
we're glad to have you here. All right. Hopefully we'll see you again.
Definitely.
All right. Bye. So the last poet we have tonight is the legendary. Use a deep voice to say this, you know what I'm saying?
Akor, sorry, we have Shabnam first. Hello, Shabnam. Ready when you are.
Hey, can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Shout out all the way from Canada. I am actually, it's my first time at BYOB Poetry. Heard a lot about you guys, and I've been watching all the pieces right now, and they were all amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, you guys, and I hope you like my piece as well. I'm a avid mental health advocate, so the piece I'm about to read to you is actually a piece dedicated to that. I haven't performed it yet, but I'm going to post it soon, so here goes. Let me know what you think. Those words, you know, the ones you don't remember saying to me, the ones I forgot I once said to you, fighting their way through our hearts and into our veins and lungs, they've taken hold. I can't breathe, gasping for truth, gasping for something I did not know I need. I can't breathe, you know, when your heart skips a beat because it would have been too heavy to feel. Too heavy in that moment where it all becomes so deep. I am sinking, reaching for a solution. I am reaching, even if it's the devil's hand selling me my right to breathe, for the right to watch me seethe. To hold my soul in its clutches and crumple it up, to throw at my feet like a piece of paper you once wrote but could not deliver to me. I am hurting, clutching my chest, trying to do my best to stop an explosion so I don't breathe. Clutching mere skin to stop the pain that is trying to escape me, only to erase me, to wash over me until nothing remains, to obliterate me. I am losing ground, struggling to hide this frown so I keep my head down without making a sound, but silence never stopped real demons. Holding the world on my head, what else did I expect? But a child would have never thought it would be too heavy. Oops, I lost my jacket. So I smile when I frown, when my world's upside down. You'd never know I was internally bleeding. I am at risk. You know this, taking risks with risk. Now my heart's at risk because it fights with me when I try to protect it. When I say to never love the same, but it feels indifferent. My eyes I try to shut when the darkness is too much, but they refuse to see this. My body I try to respect. Slow down, I always said, but my mind is too strong an opponent. Thank you, guys.
Wow, I love that last line.
That's phenomenal.
All the way from Canada, you know?
Beautiful.
Love it.
Wow.
Thank you, thank you. Any feedback? Love it.
I'm glad we got an exclusive, so.
You did. Thank you. Loving the love.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. No, I think it was a lovely poem. I like your flow in it. The way you let one line, it's like every line, I don't know, you used a very peculiar rhyme scheme in it, which was interesting to see. And I enjoyed that. And you delivered the points very clear.
I didn't hear that last line. You said it was
What?
interesting. What? I didn't hear your last part, sorry.
The rhyme scheme you used. So my connection is the worst today.
Yeah, I keep cutting it off. I thought it was mine.
You said something about the rhyme scheme.
The rhyme scheme you used was really interesting.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us. Okay, so and hopefully have you back with us. You're from Canada, you say, so
yes,
that's cool. International. Thanks for joining us. All right, cool. So our last poet now is Big Scoop.
Okay, guys. So all of you that are still here, thank you very much.
Yep, Big Scoop.
How you doing, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
Right, no problem. Let's go straight into it. Can everyone hear me, huh? All right, cool.
Yeah, we can hear you.
No problem. All right, I'm just gonna go straight into this piece. You see, growing up in South London, as a black man, a lot of the press that we get is just negative. A lot of us get labeled as thugs or bad boys lacking intelligence. You see, every day they're promoting knife crime and they try to use it as evidence. But if you're judging millions of people those statistics bear no relevance. You see, that's why knowledge itself is imperative, because it's true that brothers kill brothers. The problem is we don't see this as relative. I just find it mad how everyone's living this wildlife, but no one's addressing the elephant. You see, that's because we live in an age where everything currents a wave. We don't get tied to the truth and as a result get carried away. And that's because most of us are out here chasing the same dream. But it's mad when you got to do dirt and then figure out how to stay clean. I know guys that hustle all night. Sometimes I wonder if they dream. I mean, what do you know about whipping to make cream? Because I'm from a place where everyone sees you flowing, but just like building a dam, they want to stop you from hitting that mainstream. See, I got a few friends who are dead and some who are stuck in a can like baked beans. Because when you come from the block, the only thing you want to do is make great cheese. I said, block, great cheese? See, that's the mistake we're making. Young boys want to fight over postcodes and they see no hope in escaping, which means you're literally beefing over something you don't have stake in, which means you can end up taking shots without getting drunk and still get wasted. Plus, most of these young boys have got things really mistaken, because getting dropped home by the pigs is no way that you bring on the bacon. You see, I'm not trying to be like nobody else. Understand that I'm just trying to be me. That's the reason I don't act up, because I'm from a place where guys carry pumps. I don't make you pay for the gas like BP, but it's ironic because now I'm saying it, but still drowning in knowledge that only the deep sea, and these days I'm more than happy. I mean, I'm literally over the moon like ET, because I've learned that all you got to do is believe in yourself and watch your plans work out like a PT, because trust me, I've been through a madness. And I've learned that you can't never fold. Just play with the cards you were handed. Because when you've got that automatic drive, you'll find success will be standard. But with success comes haters, so watch all the people you hang with. Because just like Wi-Fi, you get strength from the people you ban with. And that stuff gets deeper. So anyone blocking your goals should never be seen as a keeper. See, growing up, I had to be bold. So anytime I fell off, I came back wicked, like alopecia. And it's good that I learned how to listen. Because being deaf in the hood only gets you a meet with a reaper. But it's all part of the process. I mean, I'm all about action, but never been one for the showbiz. You see, I'm out here trying to get Jay-Z money. And some might see that as hopeless, but I'm going to stay focused on bread until I'm in the same spot that Hov is. You see, for me, the picture's always been clear. And that's because I've never lost focus. And there's no point taking a back seat because life doesn't come with a chauffeur. And if you think that it does, well, that's more than a bad look. Because I've learned that everyone goes through pain. But if you don't ever heal, you're always going to be on the back foot, and that's harsh. But take me, for example. As a big boy, I was always seen as an outcast. It's true. We don't live in a sound system. So for that reason, I turn up and make sure that I put it on blast, because honestly speaking, life is hard. And that right there is a given. But every time we murder each other, it's the government making the killing. We got to learn to support each other and never lose sight of the mission. Because in life, you can have 20/20 sight, but with the right contacts, get some support for your vision. See, I'm not trying to be a hero, but only jokers want to be villains. I'm just trying to celebrate life in a place where death has become a tradition, and going to jail is celebrated. That's no way to be living. But it all comes back to tax money, because when they send you to prison, it's a government making commission. You see, I'm no different to anyone else on this life. I can say that I've been through so much. But you see, back in the day, I was fully on smoke. You could tell by the way I would roll up. Before social media, I had a status. You could tell by the way I would post up. And the truth is, I was going ham for so long that everyone saw me as cold cut. But to tell you the truth, I had to be cutthroat in order to not get my throat cut. And the truth is, I was always in a jam, because I was out here acting a donut, and I didn't want to face the horror that we live in an age where everybody wants to be best man. So you don't find too many that are made of honor, and that's rage. I mean, I was out here single, but still getting cuffed every day. Then again, when you act like an animal, you're going to get locked in a cage. But honestly speaking, I was just trying to get paid. But you can't sell drugs and claim to be free. But just know that if that is your claim, well, I want you to think about this. If you're black but serving a white, well, doesn't that make you a slave? See, I was out here chasing cheddar, but thank God it was only a phase, because just like cheddar, I matured and got better with age now. See, for the people that know me, they'll tell you that I'm fiery. They'll vouch that I have a good heart, but there ain't no point trying me. Now, please don't see me as angry. I'm just mad at the lack of variety and how we live in a time where people invest in banking, but not in building society. I'll just leave that one there.
Yes!
Yes, come on.
Come on,
Maggie.
And Abdullah said we didn't have a headliner.
He's headline.
Just headline.
Hey, So about headliners as well. Actually, Scoop has already a headline for us in real life as well, and he absolutely shut it down as well. And you know what? This is why I love having him on as well. It's one of those. I always love having him on as a bit of a surprise, and he no doubt just delivered again. My guy.
I appreciate you, man.
You know when you start clicking and then your wife from next door is like, what the hell's going on? Because that's what happens pretty much every night as well. But then she looks at me sometimes and she goes, oh, is it Scoop again? She knows it's Scoop time. Every time she has a clicking, the way that I click when you perform, she knows it's Scoop time as well. So, you know what? Bruv, I appreciate you more. Trust me. Can you please give up? Go on.
Bro, I don't know how to use a Zoom thing properly, innit? So, I don't know if I heard someone ask on my Instagram. I'm easy to find. Just type in Big Scoop _ should come up straight away if you want to find me on Instagram. All my stuff is on there. And yeah, I appreciate you guys, and you guys were amazing as well for what I did catch.
Thank you. Please give up one more time for the one, the only Big Scoop.
Hey. Man like Scoop. Reach.
So you might be wondering what happened to Akor. Akor was turned into an Arab, basically. More seriously, unfortunately, his internet has now decided to be delivered by post. So it's up to me to end the show. But before we go, just a couple of things. Firstly, we have a show on the 12th of April, and then hopefully after that we'll be back to in person. But things are still being negotiated as we speak. So hopefully we will be giving you more news at our next show. But also one last thing, I wanted to share with you this page here. So hopefully you can see it on the screen now. So this is an appeal to Middle Eastern people, or people of Middle Eastern heritage, especially Iraqi or Iranian people who live in the UK. One of our near and dearest friends, Faisal, has a sister who is currently looking for a blood donor, especially a plasma donor, to help with the next stage of her blood cancer treatment. Now, in the UK, if you are from a white background, it is 80% likely that you'll be able to find a donor. If you are from a Middle Eastern or other ethnic minority background, the number plummets all the way down to 20%. So please follow Match for Sarah to follow all the story. And also, more importantly, get details on how to be able to donate your blood. So thank you very much to anyone who does go there. Right. So all the poets, please stay on the line so we can have a quick chat at the end. For everyone else who's watching at home, I am SoftSpoken. Akor was with us. Thank you to everyone who was on the open mic tonight, and we will see you in April.